Waiting to be evacuated. That's the plight of dozens of South African medical students in the northeastern Ukrainian city of Sumy. They've staged a peaceful protest outside their hostel in the hope that their pleas will be heard. Several others are stranded in neighboring countries, while a few others have been lucky enough to make it home. They are now trying to help their fellow students still stranded. Here's eNCA's Lindsay Dentlinger, who spoke to some of the students about their ordeal.
Let us go home! Let us go home!
Cold, hungry and frightened, South African Maud Mahlangu, a fifth-year medical student from Gauteng, is among this group of African and Indian students living in a hostel in Sumy with no water, little food and intermittent electricity.
It's impossible for me to leave because there's honestly a number of factors that are adding to the fact that I can't leave. There's firstly, my school is telling us that there'll be a humanitarian corridor, but then they also said that they won't be providing, that we don't need humanitarian aid, which isn't true. There's also the fact that the roads are blocked. There's 2 roads out of this city, and one of them was destroyed, and then the other one, when people tried to take that road, the Ukrainian soldiers send them back. And then the railway station has also been destroyed, so that's not an avenue that we can take either.
And while appeals to international embassies to help them evacuate have until now not succeeded, the wait is taking its toll on these students.
In the mornings, you get woken up by bomb blasts. It's not like there's nothing happening. There's constant bomb blasts all the time. We constantly have to be going in and out of the bunker, or we hear air raid sirens. It's constant.
A 20-year-old first-year medical student from Pretoria, who only wants to use his first name, says he did not want to leave Ukraine, as it has become his second home. Mohammed spent hours on trains, travelling first to Slovakia and then on to Hungary.
When we saw the way the people were jumping onto the train, it was something out of a movie because they were going mad, ballistic. I myself was almost pulled off the train. It's like, it felt like 1,000 hands like dragging me back so I couldn't get on. But luckily I was like saved and like pulled on.
Mohammed says the kindness from strangers has been overwhelming.
It has been such a welcoming for people that they don't even know us. They have no reason to give us anything. And a simple thing like them giving us a couch, it's everything to us.
What do we want? We want to go home. Thank you.
But while getting to safety is top of mind for South African students still trapped in Ukraine and neighbouring countries, the future of their studies is also a major concern.
I don't want to go back to South Africa and be sitting there and have no education and have no guarantees that I'll be able to become a doctor. So I'm also looking into what I can do in Hungary and that. So it's like I'm waiting on the government, yes, but in another sense, I'm also trying to figure out things myself.
As home, we don't want to be here. Simple.
A third-year medical student who made it back home to Pretoria before the invasion is now trying to help other students get out.
We need to make sure that when we get these students out, we get them out under approval from the Ukrainian government, and also just sort of like a shield, so where that when they leave, everyone that sees them, in a bus or trekking or at a train station will know that these are students and they are being evacuated, so don't harm them.
As much as many of these students who self-fund their studies abroad just want to come home, they also don't want to give up their dream of becoming doctors.
We went to Ukraine because getting into medical school here was proving to be a massive, massive challenge. And so we went to Ukraine and we planned on getting our degrees there and bringing it back home and bringing the knowledge that we had gotten from Ukraine back home. So I think even now, just with the trauma that a lot of us have experienced prior to the war, during the war, trying to evacuate, I don't really see a lot of South African students going back to Ukraine to finish.
The students are now appealing to the Health Professions Council and South African universities to help them complete their studies. Lindsay Dentlinger, Cape Town.
Lindsay, thank you for that reporting. Still to come.